Since you guys really liked the plane designs that Scotty made, he got a bit excited and then went ahead and made a load of car designs as well. So I thought I'd showcase them as well. I actually made a build school on how to make cars a long time ago, so you might see some similarities, but there are some cool ideas in this showcase as well. Alright, let's get straight into it. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of vehicle designs. They're not just cars, they include jeeps, trucks, race cars, motorbikes, that kind of thing. So let's get straight into it. This is the very stereotypical design, and I'll kind of be pointing out some of the features of what make a simple design work. Now, the main thing on these cars is this slab and wheel design functionality that goes down. So you always start with the four wheels and then slabs to connect them, and that raises it up half a block and you get that functioning car look. Everything you do on the top is what the variation produces. So this is just a very similar design as the first one, but it's got a different color scheme. And that's all you need when you're like on a town surface trying to fill it with cars and stuff. You just use the same recipe and add different designs. This is more of an army jeep. I actually really enjoy this design. It's got a nice use of anvils for the engine or the grate at the front or whatever you want to call it. You've got some wheels which are normal, then you've got a good use of the staircase and sandstone as a block in general. It's got that sort of army feel to it, even though it is technically stone. We've got a nice race car here, bright red. You could, in fact, even take out the middle and put a bed in there and have that in a child's bedroom, just as a little idea. And it's a very simple design overall, nothing that really stands out. You could, in fact, improve that quite a lot with a few basic additions. We've also got some motorbikes. I didn't really understand this one, but they insisted to keep this in here. You can actually sit in it. It's like a Batman sort of deal. It doesn't really look like a motorbike to me, but I kept it in because, you know, it's Scotty's designs, not mine. This is a nice vending truck, so you can actually get in there if you decided to add a door in the back. You wouldn't have a lot of space, but there is enough for a chest or maybe two, and then you can't really throw things through, so you'd probably have to delete that bit up the top. It's not particularly functional, but you could easily edit it to be functional in general. I would add a door on the back, possibly an iron one or a birch one. It's, you know, up to you. And you can make sure that you've got this nice overhang using string to hold up the carpets, along with some end rods, or perhaps you would rather use some iron fence. And that's the beauty of these designs. You don't have to use wool, you don't have to use birch. You can change the blocks to suit your needs. So if you were making an ice cream truck, you might want to choose quartz over something, or if you're making like a dark truck, go for the nether brick. Next up is a garbage truck, is what you would call it in America. In the UK we call it a bin lorry or something similar to that, dustbin men, that kind of thing. In the back we've got some podsole, and that's the rubbish or the garbage, whatever you want to call it. And it's a very simple design, still on that bed of half slabs integrated into the wheels themselves. You got a nice steam coming out the top. It's very old-fashioned truck. It doesn't exactly look like this, but you get the idea, which is the main thing. I love the fact that there's an anvil under the bonnet of this truck. The fact that there's a nice shape behind the quartz in the shadow, it just gives a very subtle detail that you might not have noticed if I didn't even point it out, but it is there, and it is a very nice touch to this design. Next up is a bit of a strange truck. I think Scotty maybe messed up over here. I don't think they're meant to be down there. I think all of the slabs are supposed to be flat like that. The wood is a bit of an odd choice. I'm not too sure what this is. It's obviously a people carrier of some sort, maybe a hearse. I think it's a good looking design, but it doesn't look too car-like, so maybe back to the drawing board on that one, but it's still a nice idea. You can just change the wood to something else and it might suit it a lot more. Next up, we've got a pickup truck. I like this design a lot. The trapdoors really do all of the work for you. You follow the same formula for the rest of the cars with the wheels and the slabs, but instead of making the car on the top, you place some trapdoors like so, and you can, well, you can make it as tall as you want, really. You could have an entire cage if you wanted for rubbish or something like that. It is up to you, obviously, but the concept is just brilliant. You can put chests and anything on the back, and then at the front you just make your simple car design. This, I think, was supposed to be a rocket car, but it looks a little bit clunky. Maybe you guys could come up with a way of making this look a bit more streamlined. It is a bit of an odd design. Maybe go back to the drawing board on this particular one. The back with the wings looks okay. The black carpet is an odd choice. The cobblestone one looks a little bit better if you ask me, but then it kind of takes away from the fact that it's meant to be a car because it's made out of stone. I don't know. I'm okay with that one. We'll move on. This is a proper truck, so moving on from like the bin lorry, this has the two-part system. So we've got a hopper in the middle which acts as a really good connecting block between the two, and it is literally just a block of clay here on top of our standard base for cars. It is very, very effective. Obviously we've been using item frames for the backlights, as if you hadn't noticed. I didn't feel like I needed to point it out until now. But yeah, this lorry design I think is really cool. You could open up the back, or if you scaled the build up a little bit, you could have a lot more space. And on the back, you don't have to put the big block of clay. You could put logs or chests and something like that as cargo, or of whatever you're trying to do. This is a great way to fill up motorways or something like that and have something good to look at, big and dominating. This one is obviously a police car. I think the front is a little bit odd, but you get the idea. It's a very American police car because we don't have the black and white ones. We have like some weird green and white ones. Anyway, it's a good design. This is supposed to be a tractor, but I don't know about the shape at the front. It is good, and you got... This is the only one that sort of takes away from our normal recipe because we've got one big wheel at the back and one small wheel at the front, so getting that shape is a little bit more difficult. But anyway, those are our designs for the cars. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I think there's some pretty rad designs in here, but I'd love to see what you can do with them. Maybe one of these took your fancy and you thought, I can make that better. I'd love to see them. Anyway, that's it from me, everyone. Thank you to Scottie for producing more designs for me to showcase today, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye!